Right, bit of a difference today for a Sunday. I'm not having a Sunday lunch. I couldn't be bothered to make one. So I thought, well, I've got a bit of rump steak, so I've chopped a bit of rump steak up, and I had a bit of coconut milk and some chopped peppers, onions, chilies, and some rendang paste. So I'm going to make a beef rendang, which is a wonderful Malaysian dish, which I used to make a lot of back in the 90s when I worked at a certain hotel. I've also got a pan of, it's a bit like a biryani, but without all the gubbins. It's just got some spices in it, and I'm just making that so it just goes a bit sticky. And I'm making the rice first. Right, the rice is done. That's in there. Let's go let that sort of steam away and finish it off. Got the old trusty wok on with some oil in. Just waiting for that to heat up. Just a bit of information on kitchen knives. Now, I use a lot of these, we used to call them sabatiers, back in when I was chefing full time. And it's got the 3 rivets. Them rivets means that that blade handle runs all the way through, as you can see at the bottom. It's one of the safest knives to use because the blade won't snap, as opposed to using something like that one, which has probably only got a spiky handle, probably to about there, and can, you know, snap quite easily. I've had one snap on me a lot of years ago as I was chopping, and it flew past my eye, just missed me. So I only use these knives for very, very light work. But if I'm doing some heavy duty stuff, it's that one. Right, wok's nice and hot. And goes that. Give it all stir around. And give that a couple of minutes just to sweat down and release some of the flavours out of that. Then peppers, onions and chilli. The biryani mix I use is that stuff. It comes in 2 packets inside there. You get a lot of it, so I'll just use bits of it now and again in my rice just to give the rice a bit more of a flavour than just plain old boiled rice. Sometimes when I'm making pilau rice, I'll just put a little bit of that in just to give it a bit of a kick. Right, I'll put some salt in it. I've also put a little bit of ginger in. I know it wasn't on the chopping board just going in, but I've just put a little bit in because I do like ginger. So now we're going to cook that down. Seal the meat off. This is rump steak that I'm using, so it won't take long. If you're going to do it in a slow cooker, use stewing beef, braising beef, a cheaper cut, and it takes a lot longer obviously than it does with a bit of rump steak. Right, sizzling nicely away. You can see all that lovely juice coming out. You can put a lid on it now and again just to help steam it all off and keep some of them flavours in there. It's coming off the steam, and you can see it all bubbling away nicely. Then in a minute I'm going to put in the rendang paste, followed by the coconut. Then I'm just going to probably leave it to simmer for about 5 minutes. A traditional rendang does not have the veg in it, it's just the meat with the onions. I put the veg in because I'm bulking this out because I'm going to do a bit of batch cooking and I can freeze it down, so I've got a few meals for, you know, for over the week that I can just pull out the freezer when I get home from work. And so the rendang paste has in it, it's basically, if I remember rightly, it's got let me think, fresh red chilies in it, some fresh galangal, ginger, sugar, some lemongrass, garlic, turmeric, salt, cinnamon, cumin, star anise and cardamom, and it's just all ground down to a paste, and then it's just used like that. I prefer to use the paste because it's easier to use and messing about with lots of different spices and herbs. Just give that a quick mix in, and then in goes coconut milk. Right, so that's just all in. So it's a nice creamy mix. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the heat down. I'll let that simmer away for probably around about 5 minutes, so that sauce then is really reduced and it's covering the meat and the veg. Right, and there it is, finished. So I've got my rice and I've got the rendang, which has got a nice flavour to it. I've just tasted it, it's got a bit of a kick, and I'm glad I didn't taste it on camera because I nearly I said a few expletives, so I put a bit of sort of yoghurt in it just to knock it down a little bit, so it was a little bit too hot. Right, so there it is. That is beef rendang with just added extra veg into it. You can make it as a vegetarian option, obviously, if you want to put all your bits of veggie stuff in it, corn and okra and courgettes, aubergines, carrots, peas, broad beans. Anything that's a sturdy veg will take in a lot of that sauce. Right, I'm off for my dinner, guys. See you later. Bye.